Hello everybody, I'm on the very south coast of Okinawa and I came down to try and get some shorebirds, like redneck stints, little stints, long-toed stints, very small shorebirds in nice light. Unfortunately, the light isn't great. I came down for sunset and it's just been, the sun's been behind this big cloud up here and I'm hoping it's going to clear, but it just doesn't look like it's going to, and the sunset's going to be in about half an hour or something. So I've been here for about an hour, nothing doing. I'll show you what I am trying, the position I'm trying to photograph. Right, so what we have here is, there is the ocean. There are some rocks and there is this broken stone jetty that goes a little bit out into the sea, which I'll talk about later. But basically here I'm waiting for shorebirds they usually fly across here, stopping gradually, and then they'll come to the rocks behind here, and then eventually they might come to this pool here, and that's what I'm waiting for. But unfortunately out here you have surfers and you have fishermen, so whenever they come back all the birds fly off, and that's just the luck of the draw. But I've had lots of nice shots in the past in birds in this area here. As long as they get used to me, they then, once I've been here a while, their fear goes and they come in here. So yeah, I'm trying to get shots of shorebirds at eye level. That's why I'm here, and I want to be at their level down low, because those are the most impactful shots I find. You've got to get quite a good shutter speed, so I try and get to about 1,000 if I can. Because the light isn't great and it's the end of the day, your ISO might have to be pumped up a bit. But usually they're not moving too fast, so you can get nice shots. And again, you've got to think about the background. So there are some reeds. Let me go back, sorry. So if you get a bird along here, the reeds are distant, so the background's really nice here. If you get a bird on the ridge here, the reeds are really close and the background's too cluttered. So I'm trying to get a bird over there. That's what I want. But yeah, I mean, at the moment I'll take anything because there's nothing here. So yeah, so it's good to come back to spots that you're familiar with, because you may have got good shots there before, and therefore you know the conditions, you know what the birds, how they react to that area, what birds come to that area, so you can kind of plan what you want to do. But as I said, I came here, quite a long drive, and no birds are coming. The light's kind of changing a little bit now, if you can see. You probably can't, but that looks a little bit better. So if a bird did come, we could be in business, but nothing yet. Anyway, this is what we do, isn't it? It's, as I always say, it's just so fun getting out. So here I am. Oh, right, that has suddenly just come out. Right, so what I do is, I like this place because it's got this stone jetty, which used to be a lot more substantial, but basically a typhoon about 5 years ago just cleared it. The stone just went. So I lie down here in position. Of course, this is a public place, so I look absolutely ridiculous. A lot of people come down here and they sit on the beach to look at the sunset. And there's very few foreigners that live down in the south of Okinawa. So they're like, why is there a foreigner lying down on the jetty? They're probably thinking of calling the police. It looks very strange. But anyway, so I sit here and I just wait on the ridge there. And I hope that a bird appears. Now, I've been here an hour today, no birds, nothing, and there's been no light. The light's just changing slightly now, but basically this is what I do, and I just wait here, looking ridiculous. And if a bird does appear on the ridge, they come up on the ridge and they come down to the water. And it's basically when they're at the top of the ridge, that split second, that's when I've got to be ready. And I want them in a certain position where the reeds in the background are far enough away to blur out the background. So I'm basically at their eye level now. So these small birds come over the ridge and I've got to wait and I've got to be on it to get that shot. So that's what I do. I come here hoping for good light, and I wait like this for an hour or two. And today nothing's happening, but yeah, it can result in some great shots. And these tiny birds, when you approach, when I walk up here, they fly off. Once I stay here for 10 minutes, they come back, especially if I'm lied down. And depending on the tide, if it's really low, they'll come into the water. And I actually sometimes hold the camera down just above the water level. And if they're on the ridge, I'm already at eye level here because this is the same height as the ridge. So this place is 2 hours away from my house, hour and a half away from my house. But because of the situation here and what I'm working with, I know I have potential to get good shots here, so I come back again and again. While you're here, I just want to quickly talk about a shot I took here about 3 weeks ago when I was using the Olympus 300mm that I had got hold of for about 3 weeks. It was a red-necked stint, which is a tiny bird, and I had envisioned the shot before it happened, so I wanted to get the bird in a very particular area just here with the reeds in the background. I waited and waited and waited. The light was nicer than this. The light was really nice, and eventually the bird came up and I managed to get a few shots, and I'll show that shot now. And I really love this shot just because everything came together, but it's really the light that makes the shot and the fact that I'm at eye level with the bird, and it was in the right position, so those reeds at the background were out of focus. So yeah, I really like that shot. And yeah. Very unexpected. I didn't get the birds I wanted, but a blue rock thrush, which usually is over in the forest and at the fields, just came and landed on this ridge out in the sea. And I kind of illustrates because he landed on the edge here and he hopped along the whole way around the ridge where it then gets closer to the reeds. And I took a shot basically as he went along, going using the eye detect, which did brilliantly actually. And I think it'll illustrate how good the background looks on depending on where he is. So when he's here, I don't want that background, even though it's far away because it's the sea. But when he gets to about here, there's some reeds in the background and it's a blurred out background. As he gets here, it's still a blackbird background, and that's kind of where I wanted him. And then as he moved over towards here, it's because the background is so close to him, it's more busy and not blurred. So I'll post those photos up just so you get an idea of the position of the bird from where you are. Makes a big deal to the background, and to me the background makes the picture. I often go on about backgrounds, but it makes the picture. So this will illustrate, once the bird moved, how the background also changed. Hello everybody, it's about a week later, it's Friday, and I've had to take a day off for work because my kids, well my eldest is slightly sick, so my youngest has got lucky, so neither have gone to school today, so they're just sitting in their underpants playing games all day. I'm not quite sure how sick he is, but it's allowed me to just finish off editing. I just want to illustrate one of the points I made in the video about backgrounds. It's so important, especially with some shorebirds. They're not always the most colourful birds, but they do have nice plumage, and when you blur out the background, you can really highlight the subject itself. And it's a style that I like. So it always, especially with shorebirds, helps to get eye level, as I've said probably many times before in my videos. So that's what I did. So it was a fun day going down to the south coast last week. I didn't get as many pictures of birds as I'd like, and actually what I did is I've been going through my old hard drives looking for pictures that I took at that venue or that location, and I realized that I haven't actually been there much in the last 4 or 5 years. And I did find some pictures and I just didn't like any of them. And that's one of the things about when you look at your old pictures, to me anyway, it totally inspires me to get better pictures. So I don't really want to share those pictures. What it makes me want to do is go back to that location, because they get the same birds every winter, and those birds will start coming back soon in numbers, and it's going to make me determined to go back there this year and get similar shots to what I got before, but just much better. And you know, I just feel my photography is way better than it was 7 or 8 years ago, maybe, when I was going there a lot. Not just my photography, but my editing as well. I'm looking at some of the pictures now, how they're editing and how they were edited. I mean, I remember I used to edit on a tiny, like 10-inch, wasn't even a laptop, it was, I think it was called a notebook in those days, and I didn't have Photoshop, and I probably thought it looked all right, but now looking at it on my big computer, it just looks awful. But that's good, you know, that's where I was then, and this is where I am now, and I want to go back and get better shots of those same subjects. So anyway, it's now Friday, so I hope everyone watching has a great weekend. Thanks so much for following the channel as usual and watching the videos, always appreciated. Anyway, thanks again, hope you learned something from the video. If you like it, give us a like, maybe think about a subscribe, and take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.